What we're looking at here is a massive turning point in a nation's history. It all revolves around three incredible figures: Samuel, who's the last of the old guard; Saul, the first ever king; and David, the shepherd boy who nobody saw coming.
So, to really get what's going on, we have to set the stage. The era of the judges is winding down. And honestly, Israel is in a pretty bad spot. Spiritually, things are bleak. The lights are definitely going out. You've got to picture this. On the surface, things look okay. People are still going to the temple, they're doing the rituals, but it's all hollow. The leadership is a mess. The high priest's own sons are corrupt, openly disrespecting God. And worst of all, there's this deafening silence. God just isn't speaking. But right in the middle of all this darkness, we hear from a woman named Hannah. She's heartbroken because she can't have children, and she prays this incredible prayer. And it's so much more than just a personal wish. It's like she's laying out the theme for the entire book, declaring that God is about to turn everything completely upside down. And he does. God answers for prayer with a son, Samuel. As a boy growing up in the temple, God calls out to him personally. And just like that, the silence is broken. Samuel becomes this new spiritual light for the whole nation. But you know, one good man can't fix a nation's problems overnight. Things get worse. In a disastrous battle, the unthinkable happens. The Ark of the Covenant, the very symbol of God's presence, is captured by their enemies. When the old high priest, Eli, hears the news, the shock literally kills him. Yeah, glory departed. It's heavy, right? It was so bad that a baby born on that tragic day was named Ichabod, which basically just means the glory is gone. This was their absolute rock bottom. It felt like God had completely left them.
So what do you do when you hit rock bottom? You'd think they'd turn back to God, right? Well, not exactly. The response to this crisis is what changes the course of their history forever.
Instead of looking up to God, they start looking around at their neighbors. They see these other nations with powerful kings and big armies, and they get jealous. They basically say, hey, we want one of those. Give us a king who can make us feel safe and strong, just like everybody else. And this is really the heart of the matter. God explains to Samuel, hey, don't take it personally. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting me as their king. They were trading away their unique relationship with God for a chance to be, well, normal. So, in a classic, be careful what you wish for moment, God says, okay, you want a king? You got it. And that leads us straight to Saul, Israel's very first king. And he was exactly what the people had asked for. I mean, this guy was straight out of central casting. Tall, handsome. He totally looked the part. And he started out great. He was humble. He won some big battles. Everything was looking up. He had it all. But it doesn't take long for the cracks to show. We start to see this toxic pattern. He gets a direct command from God. The pressure mounts. He panics and he disobeys. But here's the key part. When he's confronted, he doesn't own it. He blames everyone and everything else. It was a failure of trust, followed by a failure of character. After a second huge screw-up, Samuel delivers this absolutely devastating verdict from God. It's one of the most famous lines in the whole book. God isn't impressed by big religious shows. He just wants a heart that listens and obeys. For Saul, this is the beginning of the end.
So while Saul is busy self-destructing, God is already moving on. He's preparing Saul's replacement. And his choice, well, let's just say nobody would have ever picked this guy out of a lineup.
Just look at this comparison. It tells you everything you need to know. On one side, you've got the people's choice, tall, impressive, the perfect warrior. On the other side, you've got God's choice, a young, overlooked shepherd boy. It shows you the huge difference between our checklist for a leader and God's. So Samuel goes and secretly anoints this kid, David, as the next king. And in that moment, there's this massive spiritual handoff. The Spirit of God, which had empowered Saul, leaves him and comes to rest on David. It's like a torch being passed from a failing king to a future one. And right away, David gets a chance to show what he's made of. The whole Israelite army, including King Saul, is cowering in fear of this giant, Goliath. But David, this shepherd kid, steps forward with nothing but a sling and this incredible declaration of faith. Now you'd think defeating the giant would make him a national hero and put him on the fast track to the throne, right? Nope, not even close. David's victory just makes Saul insanely jealous, and he spends the next several years as a fugitive, hunted by the very king he's supposed to replace. And these years on the run, this is what really defines David's character. I mean, think about it. He has multiple chances to just end it, to kill Saul and take the crown he was promised, but he won't do it. He respects God's timing and authority more than his own ambition. This wilderness experience is his real leadership training. And this really shows Saul's whole story in a nutshell. It's just this tragic downward slide. He starts with so much promise, but it's one act of disobedience after another, leading to rejection, torment, and finally a lonely death on the battlefield. And that's where the book of 1 Samuel leaves us, totally hanging. The king the people wanted is dead. The king God chose is alive, but he's still in exile. The stage is set for the next chapter, but it's clear God's plan is still unfolding.
Which really leaves us with this final, powerful question to think about. This story isn't just about who gets the crown. It's about the journey to get there. And it asks us, what really forges a true leader? Is it the comfort and power of the palace, or is it the struggle and the trials of the wilderness?